Hello everyone, so here's the topic for debate today. Stick with 3D or switch to 2D? This is a question that has plagued me since I started production, and I want to get some outside opinions on the issue. Is there a reason to switch? Potentially. And we'll get to why in a moment, but first of all, why is this a question? Well, it's simple. I'm very impatient and I'm antsy to start animating stuff, but I can't do it in 3D right now. Also, I'm indecisive. For example, if I go to the store and see a thing I like, I will stand there for at least 5 minutes debating whether or not I will buy it. So, help me decide. To start off, let's look at the benefits of animating a show in 3D. First of all, animation is faster. Many studios use 3D nowadays because it's cheaper to produce. It's easy to make corrections. If I don't like how something looks, I can simply move it until it's right or just delete it. There's no need to worry about shadows and lighting. The program does it for you. There's more potential for minute details. I love to get up close and make things as detailed and perfect as I can, but this is also a negative because that takes forever. Finally, I have more experience in this field. I know how to do both types quite well, but I've worked almost exclusively in 3D for about 8 years now. There are plenty of benefits for 2D animation as well. Number 1, the special effects are easy. Weather, running water, splashes, and splatters, they're all simple to draw, but I have no clue how to make them in 3D. 2D animation is prettier to look at. I think we can all agree that it's much more aesthetically pleasing than 3D. Plus, I've never seen any 3D model that looked anywhere near as good as Studio Ghibli's food. Animation production can begin right away. This puts the time frame for voice acting back on track and puts aside all the need for modeling. Emotions are so much better because I can use stretch and squash techniques to emphasize expressions. Plus, I could toss in sparkles or hearts or whatever else I needed. And there's always the potential to divide work among other artists. I wouldn't trust anyone to help with 3D, but 2D I'm much more lenient about and may be willing to let other people help draw it. Of course, not everything is positive. There are also some detriments for both sides. For 3D, there is a very slow render time. It would take longer to render an episode than it would take to animate it. Second, how do I make physics happen? I have no clue how to make hair and fabric move in Blender, but it would be super easy to draw. Third, there are many models to make. There's so many stages and accessories to create, and I have no idea how many character models I need to make. There's a million background extras, and Aaron and Levi each took about a week of non-stop work, not to mention that I still need more versions of them. It's absurd. And let's face it, I'm pretty bad at all this rigging and whatnot. It might look like I know what I'm doing, but Aaron is surprisingly hard to pose and has a few errors that I can't fix without redoing everything. In addition, I can't reuse footage unless it's for a flashback scene, and there aren't any flashbacks! In 2D, you can get away with using takes multiple times, as well as cutting something from one scene and pasting it into another. As for 2D, I would need to find a program. I could use Photoshop to animate, but I don't really like using it. I would prefer to find a free program that works a little better for animation. Also, drawing so much may re-injure my hand. It could be prevented if I took frequent breaks, remembered to stretch, and didn't push myself, but there's always a chance of being forced into hiatus to allow for healing. A given with 2D animation is a reduced frame rate. I've always had 30 frames per second in 3D, but drawing it would reduce it to the anime standard of 12 frames per second, which clearly isn't bad, because pretty much every anime ever is like this, but it is a learning curve that I'd have to get used to. In addition, I'd have to draw the backgrounds. Every artist knows that drawing the background is the hardest part of a piece. It's doable, but it's annoying. And finally, lip syncing would be a pain to do. I could do it the way it's normally done in anime, but I'm not sure I'd want to do that. I really like when people go the extra step to actually sync it. So there's my thoughts. Now a card should pop up in the top right corner for you to place your vote. You are also more than welcome to leave a comment to explain your opinion on this matter. I'll be reading all of them and likely replying to most. I will say that the decision is ultimately mine, but your votes and opinions have definite power to sway me either way. So I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you all again real soon.